Very good morning. Is this working? All right. So, welcome, a warm welcome to MICA. This is Shubhra Gaur, Registrar of MICA. So, on behalf of entire community, a warm welcome to all the students and the parents and family members. Now, you have joined, and also your parents have joined a very unique community which believes in this. Although there was a song which said just a brick in a wall, but no, this is not just another brick in the wall, which means that we celebrate uniqueness, we celebrate, of course, creativity, and these two, when they blend, they create individual journeys which are very, very important. So, next, I want to show you a few pictures. This is of the visionary, Mr. A.G. Krishnamurthy, laying the foundation of MICA 35 years ago in 1991. So this is a very special moment and thankfully captured by photograph, because several of the photographs could not survive the test of time when they are standing on the field, when the buildings are being made, etc. But if you see this one, this will give you a glimpse of what was the initial building which looked like, and the brown land around. And today we have a lush green campus. So, and of course, 5,000 plus trees and shrubs, and a whole lot of flora and fauna which you have experienced, the peacocks and the monkeys and the cats and the beagles. And here is to the man, the visionary, and the founding team of MICA. So on behalf of everyone, once again, a very warm welcome. After the tribute, I just want to briefly mention that what this vision or this dream did to the institution called MICA. There have been towering personalities like Alec Padamsee, Prasoon Joshi, and the likes of Jarsin Tukuna. Maybe some of you have not heard his name, but leading theater personalities. And this is a unique and a very special moment for us because, of course, because you're coming, but because this is the first time we are offering two AICTE approved programs in School of Applied Creativity, which is PGCM AMC and PGCM DMMC, of which you are members. And with this, I will invite the chief guest, the director, dean, both the associate deans, and I will read out two names from the School of Applied Creativity. Ashwin R. Are you here, Ashwin? If not, then I have Nitya Joshi. Are you there? Both have not registered. From DMMC, Varun Menon. Well, okay. So this is a kind of a roll call. But one student from DMMC and another student from AMC, please come forward for the lamp lighting. And parent who are sitting in the first row. Sir, there? Yes. Yes, please. Ma'am? Yes, yes. Behind Ruchi, Ruchi? Or behind, yeah, please. Manu, we have everything ready? Thank you, all of you. And now I invite the Director and CEO for her address.
So welcome everybody. Can you hear me okay? So it's always a goosebumpy moment for me to welcome all of you. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I have got goosebumps because a long, long time ago, 30 years ago, I sat where you sat. Okay? It is the deepest honor of my life. Can you hear me okay? Then I will not, I hate the mic. So, no, no, it is the deepest honor of my life to have the opportunity to come back here. A 20-year-old Jaya used to run around these corridors, very worried, um, being a little scared of my professor who's seated here. That 21-year-old Jaya played holy where there are fountains today. Okay? In some of the land that you saw, which was barren, a lot of love stories were also written. A lot of broken hearts. But things went well. Um, I was the first to get a job. So ground zero. Okay. And ma'am in pink, here, that was my seat. The reason I'm telling you this is that 21-year-old went to Bombay, Mumbai, it was called Bombay at that time, went to Mumbai, started a career in market research, then went into telecommunications, handling brand management for Asia Pacific, and then took a break and had her children. I had my children. I took a break for 5 years. And then came back into the workforce with a startup. And I looked at my colleagues around me, or my classmates, they were 5 years ahead of me. I was 5 years behind. And, I wanted to make up. And so how do I do it? But I wanted to be present for my kids. And I had a family to take care of. So, a lot of ladies around here will understand what I'm talking about. It's such a guilt trip for no reason. Right? But we do it. And then suddenly my journey took me into software, something I didn't think I was capable of doing. And I was in the UK. And then I was, working with Google, and I was working with Microsoft, and, wonderful designation to be head of strategy for Google Cloud in EMEA. You feel like, oh my God, I've arrived. अब उसके बाद कुछ नहीं करना है. Then you suddenly realize, I don't like this culture. Yes, I didn't like the culture in Google, right? And then you move on to find something else. Then I went into digital infrastructure. Like, can't be, can't be so far away from, it's such a long journey from where I began. But remember this, I was a fine arts student, right? And I went into infrastructure and into corporate strategy, M&A, which was, so that's totally analytical and numbers and finance. So why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this story because what happens to you when you come to MICA is that you become a lifelong learner. You become adaptive. Okay? There is no spaces that are close to you. Okay? And in a world which is changing, there is nothing more important than that. And so why I have goosebumps is because I know that sometime, maybe 50, oh, that's a word. We have lots of cats which we are managing. Okay, so
my cats. My cats. My cats.
Right. But we are also very pet friendly. We have 2 beagles and lots and lots of peacocks. And right now, this is actually my cat. It is literally, her cat. Oh, check. वहाँ चली गई. Huh? So we are going to have a little bit of a cat chase, but खाना ले आए? हाँ.
Okay. Right. So, but we are a very plural society here, right? So I've been told to take the mic because it seems this is streaming. So where was I? I was saying that why this gives me goosebumps is because I know that sitting amongst you is a game changer. There is an industry leader here, right? A CEO, CMO. We also have Grammy-nominated musicians. We have filmmakers. We have, if Cannes Lion means something to you, then the Cannes Lions, winners. We have people who are, leading some really important causes in the social sector, whether it is fundraising for sports people, whether it's living off-grid, whether it's seeing that farmers get water. So here, right now, look around you. This place creates these leaders, and you are one amongst them. So enjoy your moment here, enjoy the time, because 15 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to be here on this stage talking about your journey. Make it yours and make it personal. So, a little bit about you, right? Take a bow, okay? Take a bow. Right? So you're less, we take about between 2 to 3% of the total number of applications. And we are just talking about applications that we consider, right? There is a far larger number that actually begin the whole process, right? So this is you, right? So you are not here by any other means or reason. You have just come here on your merit, right? And who you are and what you bring to the table. You've come from 23 states and union territories, right? All across India. To one destination, your home. Okay? Because once you come, you're always a MICAN. And this is always your place. Okay? So you are here. And, right, with your tribe. Right? Because I know that I was definitely not fitting in. Right? And people would want me to do things that I didn't really conform. And there were lots of fights with my wonderful parents, right, who I bless them. But you see, I used to read a book called, lots of books, but there was a particular book called The Loving Spirit by Daphne du Maurier, and I was reading it, and it was moving me, and I was crying, okay? And my father comes in, and he looks at me and says, "What happened?" And I said, "It's the book." And he said, "You idiot." And he walked off. He didn't understand that, I was feeling this. So there are these stories that you have. I'm sure your parents who are here are more sympathetic and understanding. But this is your tribe. We all get you. We get you, and you get each other. And you're at the cusp of becoming, right? So this is the kind of age profile that you're in. You're at the cusp of becoming. It's an exciting time, the 20s, right? Who you become starts here, right? It also has other, benefits we spoke about. But you're a powerhouse of talent. So this is from your data, okay? This is not my data, or this is not, this is your data. 224 of you gave us information about what you do. So we've put all of this. It's very, very interesting. We can send you this deck. So for people who want this, we'll send this to you. There's no problem with that. The interesting thing about it is that we have a Ranji Trophy player. We always get them, right? We have an incredible Kathak dancer, a lot of Kathak dancers this time, right? Of course, we have people who are, a new one was power lifters, right? Power lifters, we got some power lifters who also dance and things like that. So really, really, really super, you're a powerhouse of talent, like I can't wait to interact with you to see what all of this is. But what's super interesting is that in these hallways, in these hallways, your talent is going to meet the histories of the leaders of today. Right? So what do I mean? I don't think you can read this too well. You know, one of you can come and help later on. You know, we're not doing this too well. But the CEO of Tata Starbucks, I'm just starting with industry, okay? But the CEO of Tata Starbucks is my batchmate, right? He was here, right? He was here, and I know what Sushant was up to. Oops, I can't say that. But what I mean is, like, wonderful things, right? Right? The president of WPP was here. I mean, he's from MICA, right? We've got the executive director sitting on the board at HUL. She's a MICAN, right? We've got, you know, the head of digital at PepsiCo is a MICAN. We've got a nationally acclaimed stand-up comic who's a MICAN. We've got some multiple critically acclaimed writers. We have editors. We have, as I said, musicians, filmmakers. We also have people doing hardcore M&A. As I said, I went into strategy, but there are many others who have gone into strategy. The head of global Accenture song data and analytics is a MICAN. We can rattle on, right? There's a person who advises the Parliament of UK on all things, you know, social and digital, is a MICAN. We are across the globe. So when you walk these hallways, when you go to your class, when you sit in the library, when you go to Chota, when you're walking, you know, under a tree, Idea Park didn't exist at our time, but when you're walking down these places, remember that these leaders have walked here. And just walking here, you will get inspired. And you get to add to the graffiti on our living walls, right? Right? The estate and administration team have been working through the summer to, you know, spruce things up. We've been doing a lot of work, and we'll give a big round of applause to them later. But later. But, you know, when we were doing this, I got like 300 emails saying that don't touch our graffiti. Now I said, I'm a MICAN, how will I touch the graffiti? So if you see, we've preserved the graffiti, and we will have some more work to say, okay, let's create an archive. Maybe we need to paint over it or brush over it. But the thing is that you get to add to the graffiti. You get to add to the graffiti. That's your right, right? And therefore, you're joining a powerful community. We have 5,000 of us, right? You're joining that network, that community. So, but to really join, and this is what Jaya to all of you, right? Not director, Jaya to all of you. Jaya, the 21-year-old who is now a 52-year-old. I don't know how it happened, but it's happened, right? To all of you, push the door open, right? If you keep it closed, kuch nahi hone wala. It depends on what you do. Push the door open, and you can see there's a MICA logo, right? Go through it. Engage. And when you do that, like when you do something like this, the real transformation begins. And you need to transform. Why do you need to transform? You need to transform because this is what is happening, right? Here's what's happening. I think everyone's sick to the core about hearing the word AI, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to tell you what's happening. So in my career, the 35 years that I've been working, in my career, information was the moat, right? So information was the currency, but AI makes information, past and present, readily available to everybody, right? So that's your point one. And therefore, the capacity to recall or organize or analyze information, that's no longer a competitive advantage. So what was really important in my age or when I was working was could I handle a lot of data, information, you know, well. But that's no longer important. It's not a competitive advantage. It is not a differentiator. So what will be the defining skill? That what do you do with the information that is available to everybody, right? How do you think differently about it? Do you have new ideas about it? And therefore, what we say is that the ability to imagine, to construct novel and new ideas, solutions, futures that transcend what you can actually see, that's what's going to be important. And therefore, what you are going to experience is a transition from the age of information to an age of imagination, right? So that's the transition. And in the age of imagination, creativity is the currency. And because of this, because creativity is the currency, it's so very important to MICA and to you. You are the future, right? You are where value will be, and we have always been known for this. So again, we did this survey in December 24, Jan 25, 1,000 respondents, sample size. Really, I mean, I won't get into how random sampling and all the good stuff around it, but it's really good. And in that, these are the qualities of what it means to be a MICAN by people who hire MICANs, aspirants, students, alumni, media, other institutions. So they say that being authentic, diverse, innovative, ability to deal with ambiguity, being caring, creative, brave, modern, articulate, this describes MICA. And we are ranked 1 or 2 across all schools, and schools like the IMA, ISB, SPJIMR, all of those kind of schools, right? We rank number 1 or 2 on these aspects. And it is for this reason we say that our vision, so this is so when we say MICA's vision, it means all of us enacting it together, right? We embody this vision. We say the vision for MICA is that we nurture creative thinkers in the age of imagination, right? So make this your mantra. You're here because we are nurturing creative thinkers. We are here because this is what we aspire to be. We aspire to be leaders in the age of imagination by nurturing creative thinkers. And the mission that we are on is, and we're describing you, by the way, right? That we want to shape change agents who deliver powerful, purposeful impact, right? And deal with ambiguity really well. So you'll see this. We fuel imagination through interdisciplinary learning. You'll see a lot of that. I won't go through all of this. I want you to make this your mantra, right? So if there's something that you should put up in your rooms, put this up, because this is going to be your guiding path, right? Apart from the other paintings and beautiful stuff that you will create, right? And so how do we bring to life our vision, mission, and values? Again, remember our values, we are dialogic, which means we come from a particular place, but we are very respectful of others. And frankly, we live this, and we've seen that when we talk to each other and converse, we get better ideas out of it. So please, these are lived and breathed by what it means to be a MICAN, right? In fact, in the recruitment process, they in selecting you, we've selected you basis this, right? So if you are anyways interested, then please do have a conversation with Taral and with Ruchi, because this was the lens through which you got selected. But to bring this to life, what is it? What is the superpower that we have? And the superpower which you will learn out here, which these 5,000 have learned, is the MICA lens, right? So you should again get very familiar with the MICA lens. So what's the MICA lens? The MICA lens is the way with which a MICAN views the world, interacts with the world, where we position ourselves in the world, right? So if you look at it, the iris is really creativity, communication, culture, commerce, and community, right? I won't get into it, but this is the 5 C's that have been with us for the last 35 years. That's our iris. But we are aware that there are tensions, and these tensions need to be balanced. So for example, emerging technology, so AI is one of them, but there could be other stuff, will always have some tensions with human centricity. So how do we balance? We are not doom or gloom. We are not saying, nahi, ye technology bahut bakwas hai, yeah, this is going to kill us, or this is amazing, it's going to transform everything. We are balanced, but we are aware of both of these, these aspects. That how do we ensure there's a balance between the techno-optimism as well as human centricity. We are also very conscious of the fact that there is geopolitics, right? And you are going to be a part of the geopolitics. So national sovereign agenda is very important, especially because you are going to be really important in taking us through this goal of Viksit Bharat. I live and breathe it, we all live and breathe it, right? So to go from, we've taken the national, it's called per capita GNI, we've taken it up to $3,000 US, just a shade under it, my generation, right? But we have to, in the next 21 years, take it to 13,000. That's a huge ramp up. And that only happens, right, when you lean in and accept that as a target. and again, to some of you, this is like I keep saying it again and again. The way to do it is to increase productivity. We can increase productivity of the male working force, but we're already at about 73%. It's called the labor force participation ratio. We're at 73% for men, but for women it's 30%, right? So we are, MICA is known for being an inspiring space for women. So it's our duty. We've always been around 50-50. Right, men and women. So it's our duty, therefore, to participate in the labor force. Our women, our MICA pass-outs always do, even if they have children, even if they take breaks, they come back. And I think that's the leading light that you need to do. And hence the geopolitics, but not at the cost of our lungs, right? Not at the cost of what's happening in Delhi, or, you know, everyone tells me that, you know, you're back in India, Jaya, you've traded off 2 years of your life. I said, okay, I'll do that for my country and for my school. But not at the cost of this, right? No, I mean, this is just me, it's personal. I'm just saying you will need to balance it out, right? You will need to balance out what this means. And I think I'm running out of time, but how? Right? So, so how do we do this, right? How are we going to make you go through this? Now, we have a way, right? But it is two ways. It is two ways. So you come in as raw material. You are raw material. We have chosen you. You are selected because you have great potential. Let no one tell you otherwise. You have great potential, right? But whether you can execute and become a MICAN depends on what you do with your time here, right? Now it's our job. And that's my commitment to you, and on behalf of the deans, the faculty, the staff, it is our jobs to ensure that you get the best curriculum, right? Best pedagogy, you interact with practitioners, you have immersions, you have mentorship. We will see to it that that happens. But your obligation, even if we do all of this and you don't do the rest, nothing's going to happen. Learning is a two-way process. This transformation is two-way, right? And yes, some of you will not engage. We know that. And those who don't engage, they don't succeed. So, and this institution values excellence, right? Because you saw how many were waiting to come in. And we've only taken a few, so we're not going to waste that, and I don't want you to waste this opportunity. So you have to engage. And you have to engage with rigor. I expect you to reflect. We expect you to experiment. Create your unique point of view, right? If you don't have that, there's no point. And network. MICANs hire MICANs, right? At Cannes, when we won the Red Lion, what happened was the client was a MICAN, the executor was a MICAN, everybody was a MICAN, right? We hunt well in a team, we are a pack. So engage. But if you don't do this, you're not getting this. And if you don't get this, you cannot be this. So if you want to be a MICAN, you have to learn this. And that would be my, as Jaya to all of you, as my 21-year-old to you, as my 52-year-old to you, that do this. Because if you do this, then together, us, what we can do is participate, lead, right? Dream of what the age of imagination is going to be. So welcome to MICA. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for such an inspiring journey, and that's why I didn't preempt you as to what you're expecting. So you're going to expect magic in layers, like an onion. So now we have, I request the Dean and Principal to give us her address.
So welcome once again. So thank you once again, Jaya. That was a powerful, address, and I think you told what MICA stands for and how MICA is unique, and what MICAN really means. Now, Dr. Rao, parents, faculty members, MICAN community, and the actual important people, stakeholder of the day, dear MICANs. Now you're MICAN, but the real MICAN is what when you achieve what you have to achieve. Welcome once again. And you know that you have come here, it has not been easy for you to compete with the rest. That is, as she already mentioned, you are less than 4% of the applicants who have applied and you've come here, and it's not easy to have achieved this, and it's a great achievement. A big round of applause to each one of you here. With that, I want you to be responsible for everybody who supported you in this journey to achieve and come to MICA. Your parents, your community, the society, each and everybody who supported you, and be responsible to them, and how do we give back to them is something which is very, very important. The years at MICA is something that we are committed to support you with in nurturing the creative thinkers or the creative minds in the age of imagination, as Jaya mentioned. But the next 30 years is something which is going to be extremely challenging, yet full of possibilities and perhaps hurdles as well. Now, how you overcome those hurdles is something that is extremely important. And, and as I said, we will be there to support you, facilitate you to do that. But at the same time, as Jaya said, MICA is not a place to only fit into the tribe, but it is a place to stand out, help you stand out. With that, welcome once again. And I will be telling you about, what MICAN credentials, a brief about MICA. As you know, the MICA is founded in 1991, and it is a nationally known and prominent institution, an aspiration for many, many to come in. It is more than, and as already mentioned, it is an excellence in the Indian higher education landscape. We have been consistent in our ranking. The reason why I tell you this is, it is a very, very prestigious framework of ranking, which is called as a National Institution Framework of Ranking, and wherein MICA stands, even though being unique, even though being distinct, it stands among the top 15 business schools in the country. We are accredited by the National Regulatory Authority, National Board of Accreditation, and Association of Indian Universities, which is very important for your further education and higher education as well. And in these scores, we've scored among the top in quality in the NBA scoring and also in the AIU scoring. You're among the 5,000 alum, as Jaya mentioned. You can see the variety of the areas that your alum are contributing and in the leadership space. Not only in India, but across the world as well. Another important thing that I wanted to tell you is in terms of knowledge creation, in terms of knowledge dissemination, and also in terms of thought leadership, MICA is among the top in the best and quality journals among the country and the world as well. So we are very, very committed in terms of creating knowledge and disseminating knowledge. MICA, as you know, has 2 schools as of now. Our School of Management builds and business leaders in the world of strategic marketing and applied AI. We have PGDMC, which is a postgraduate diploma in management communication, which prepares managers in the role of customer-first industries through the lens of the 5 C's that she already mentioned. PGDM is a postgraduate diploma in management, preparing management roles and leadership roles in customer-first industries through business analytics and AI. And also have a fellow in program in management, which is a research-driven and this again is very unique, where we have international immersions, which no other institutions perhaps in the world have, which we support international immersions for these FPM students as well. For scholars for careers in academia, research and consulting. Now, we also will be very soon starting a PGCM, that is a one-year program in sports management that will be launched in 2027. Now, coming to your school, the School of Applied Creativity. Just like, Jaya was standing here and saying, I'm the first batch of MICA, you will be telling that you're the first batch of School of Applied Creativity. Congratulations once again. That's a huge milestone. We have two programs, one a legacy program that is crafting creative communication that builds creative and strategic skills for careers in advertising and marketing communication, now called as PGCM in advertising and marketing communication. So you will be getting a degree here, that's a postgraduate certificate program in marketing, in management. And the PGCM, that is postgraduate certificate program in management in digital media and marketing communication, which also focuses on content and creative economy, is among the first of its kind, focusing on digital content, social media, and creator economy for future-ready careers in the orange economy. As Jay already mentioned, the country is, with the Viksit Bharat, orange economy is one of the foremost, project of the country. We will also be adding a school of strategic communication in the next 2027, where the legacy has always been on storytelling, narrative, and crafting business, and to business and societies. That is what we will be adding on. Now, we do truly believe in inculcating the 5 C's and the tensions that, with what is happening around and the ecosystem that already mentioned in the MICA lens. Now, I was reading, or I came across a conversation by one of the top leaders, Ravi Venkatesh. I don't know if you know about him, who's been with Microsoft CEO and many other companies in India. And he was talking about today, if you have to tell, one has to be creative, one has to be, judgmental, or one has to be empathetic. It is like saying, eat good food, do good exercise. As normal as saying that, but the real thing about it is the how. And I think MICA, even without knowing, has been doing the how. And that is something that you will all, go through. And we want to really embed and imbibe this culture in you. And talking about that, I would say, it's not the empathy. At MICA, I think the empathy goes one step beyond. And it's not only about people, as already said, and as you saw the cat coming in, we have peacocks, and you would have seen that. We have peacocks, we have monkeys, we have the dogs, and also occasionally snakes feeling at home in MICA. So yeah, but they feel at home, and hence let us allow them to feel at home. And the nature, the ecosystem, the chota, the canteen, the idea park. So I think there's a lot of things that you live here and live, with live empathy and live the 5 C's at MICA. So that's what it is. And we believe, and we have created a pedagogy which will help us take you through that, that lens that we were talking about, or we are talking about. But at the same time, as you already mentioned, and I want to reiterate, the action is with you. You have to act. And we also have stern policies in place. Please read it if you don't really, comply or act. So that we really believe that, unless and until you do it yourself, it will not be actually, you won't attain what you have to. So hence, the MICA studio has 8 stages. Stage 1 about the principles and framework of MICA, principles and framework of the concepts. Stage 2 is a mental gym making complex issues possible through simple breaking down into simple aspects, and also inculcating real life immersions to giving you immersive and experiential learning. The digital double, which MICA is very strong with, in terms of storytelling, in terms of narrative, in terms of visual content, and so on and so forth. The AI adaptation, now, you will learn that I think MICA is only one of the institutions which has come so far in working with the AI in terms of curriculum, where we started off with 15% of a curriculum having to have AI incorporated and embedded in it. And if you see, all of our faculty are AI fluent, including the staff, and the community is AI fluent. We have an AI advisory board, and so on and so forth. So you will, work with what you're supposed to work for the future. The studio apprenticeship and the two pathways, that is entrepreneurial pathway and the industry pathway. So this pedagogy is copyrighted, and this is MICA Studio by MICA, and only, MICA Studio which is copyrighted. So as I told you, we believe in creating the possibilities for you, multiple possibilities, so you can, get into it and actually work on it. The most important people who front end and were there throughout with you during your journey in MICA, and whom you'll be working very, very closely, I thought it is good to introduce them here. And they are people who are extremely, experienced in their own expertise in terms of subject matter, industry specialists, professors of practice, and who are committed to creating an environment of, of giving you and making your dreams come true. Core faculty of School of Applied Creativity, Professor Falguni, who leads the School of Applied Creativity. She is also the academic head of SOAC, along with supporting faculty, as you can see, from both industry and also academia. And some of them are unique in their own way. For example, Harmony is a musician, and we have Darshan Trivedi, who's here, who produces movies. So, there are, you have, even in faculty, each one of them are, doing their own passion and taking their passion ahead. Faculty of Consumer, sorry. Yeah. Faculty of Consumer and Commerce, we have Suraj Kishore, who's leading. Can I have some water? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So Suraj Kishore, who is leading, he is from the industry, and I've been an academician, a creative person. Santosh is the Associate Dean Academics and the Faculty of Consumer and Commerce. So all these areas have designed in such a way that it aligns with the MICA mission and vision of nurturing creative minds in the age of imagination. Many more from industries, professors of practice. We have just put the face here, but I think you will know about them and the amount of work that they do, and the amount of importance they hold in the industry themselves and in the academia. The other faculty is culture, community, and communication. The knowledge creators in this space are Pooja Thomas, Professor Pooja Thomas, who leads, and then you have faculty in the space of creative, who've done a lot of work in the space of culture, communication, narratives, and community. Faculty of People, Finance and Operations, Professor Niyati Banja, who's leading, along with the rest of the faculty members who've been here for a long time and who are true MICAns in terms of what they live and how they nurture. Faculty of Business Analytics and Research, Professor Sunita Amal, leading this area with the faculty members. You will have a full introduction in the orientation, and you will meet them when you're here in the next few coming days. Saurabh Pandya leads business strategy, consulting, and applied AI. So I've just given you a few of the faculty, the areas that we focus on, and few of the faculty members. So thank you very much. All the very best, and wish you all the success in MICA. Thank you.
Well, you're already into academics. So thank you, Professor Hegde, for giving a glimpse of the academic community. This is just a glimpse. Now I invite Professor Santosh Patra, who is the Associate Dean of Academics, and he will dive deeper into the next 2 weeks, which is the orientation. So parents will also know that this is what 2 weeks are going to be, very hectic. So when you expect a call from your wards, they may not call back immediately. And this word of caution for the students here, don't go by the innocence and generosity and kindness which is written on our faces, and we of course flag it up all the time. And this comes in really handy when we talk about deans and the associate deans. So over to you, Professor Santosh.
Thank you. Welcome again. Students and parents, welcome, Venkat, chief guest and all our faculty members. You have listened a lot of good things, must be feeling good. It's a great feeling to listen that I have eliminated 8,500 to be here. It's always give us a very good feeling. However, let me come back to that reality test, what we are expecting next 1 year. You have arrived at MICA, but not arrived yet, right? So to ensure, today morning I was driving to MICA and I was listening that song from the movie Lutera, Mujhe chhod do mere haal pe, right? So we are not going to do that. So I'm sure we are going to hold you tight to ensure that what you are expecting in next 1 year and how you are going to achieve. You have listened everything, that how we are planning the academic, planning the curriculum, but what is there in that? Next 2 weeks is going to ensure that what you should expect in next 2 years. As next 1 year, we have 1 year program, 2 year program, 4 year program. In this room, all of you, we have 1 year program, what you are going to expect. And it's not only our expectation that to leave that word when typically we say that MICAns are a very entitled bunch. We ensure that you to be entitled, but after 1 year. So you have to leave that 1 year to ensure you earn that title, that yes, now maybe I can say I have arrived, but you have arrived at MICA at this point. With this, what broadly we see, it's all of that in next 2 weeks, it's packed. That parents, you would be thinking that, yes, now there is 2 weeks to the term starts, but in 2 weeks, we would expect all of you to engage every hour at MICA with the community we are expecting. And it's not that only 2 weeks, it's about your 1 year journey. It's imagining how your 26, 27 till June you are going to graduate, what are the things there. So primarily if you see, the next 2 weeks is monitored around these 8 clusters. We have MICAN journey, what both our director Jaya and Dean also mentioned. MICA core, what we mean by MICA core, how we are getting into that idea of tooling and numeracy, academic code and assessments, institutional code and well-being, infrastructure and data, statutory and compliance, and career pathways. Let me quickly, in the next 5 minutes, take you through all of that, as we say, from the journey from admission to becoming a MICA. So this is the first thing what we talk about MICA journey. So you are here, and that's a quite a big achievement, but we want to be here by meeting these 3 steps. That next step is week 1 and week 2, which enable you to visualize yourself in the respective 10 to 12 months, how you going to shape yourself. Of course, there are program specific terms. In your case, you will see that 4 terms of 3 months, you are going to see how each term is designed for that. Then the second cluster we get into that, we have been emphasizing this too much. You must be seeing that why there is a regime. That when the world is going crazy around AI technology, the world is rewritten, we are saying that can we create a lens to all MICAns to see the world differently. And that when we crafted this, lot of thoughts has gone that not right now, that it's last 35 years. And this in orientation, you are going to deep dive into every segment. Around 20 hours of classroom sessions planned around this, which would be expecting around 30 hours of your work. That 20 hours of classroom sessions is planned around helping you understand MICA lens. It's not about MICA lens, it's about a problem you are seeing, it's a situation, it's a context you are seeing by using this lens. 5 C's with the tension between geopolitics and environment, with the technology and human centricity, and how this 5C is enabling you, ensure you that at least you have something else to see a problem differently, which is creativity, culture, communication, commerce, and community. And what also both the presentation before mentioned, that MICA Studios enabled you, the learning is not one-way process. The learning is enabling you to see in a 360-degree manner, you identifying your career path after that. So that's where you will see in the next 2 weeks, 20 classroom sessions along with a lot of projects, lot of assignments. So parents, if they are not picking the call, they must be doing some assignments. So here in the cluster 3, at the context of tooling and numeracy, you will see that 4 major clusters we are seeing. I'm briefly going to touch all of that. We know that everybody you can read and write and present, but we want to ensure, are you reading it right? Are you doing it, you're writing the way you're supposed to write? We have seen how Instagram and all social media pampered us to write English, right? We know many expressions our parents also feel the way that how the communication happens. So are you reading right? Are you writing right? And are you presenting right? From there, with the techniques, some techniques would be very school specific, some tools would be very school specific, some tools would be very program specific as well. Some of them will be common across all the schools and all programs, from multi-layer AI proficiency to industry readiness to integrated case study to Adobe Creative Tools, all of there again in orientation. And with this time we are trying to understand AI is doing anything but what else we can do. Thankfully, we got into a big collaboration with one of the UK platform called Commerce. They are going to be here to take you through that how this all AI and all the curriculum come together to integrate a plan and create a business and strategy integration together with the curriculum. That is part of the orientation as well. Along with that, there are numeracy, MS Office, Excel, and all of that. Again, in the part of orientation, you will go through all of this. And there are stipulated classroom hours given to that. Beyond that, we are expected you to work on these presentations and the works. So with this part plays a big role, academic code of conduct and assessment. So again, you may share with your parents that student manual, please read every line and every word, because by the end of the day, that's what every word will ask your accountability. If you are saying that you have gone through and ticked in your DigiCampus LMS, say that I have gone through all of that, of course we want an acceptance of you have gone through, but please leave that. That's divided in 3 parts: academic conduct, what the institution expects from you; Assessment and learning assurance, it's not about attending classes, how you are attending the classes, how you are engaging and how you are being performed in the class, which seamlessly integrated to the academic calendar. All three, please read the student manual very carefully and leave every word of that. So along with that, it's, as we say that it's great to have a multicultural environment, people from multiple backgrounds, but we need to leave the common ethos. The confrontation, the dichotomy, the challenges, everywhere it will be exist, but by the end of the day, we are an institution, we are uniform for everything and all the dichotomy need to be respected. Institutional code of conduct and well-being, there will be sessions on post, anti-drugs, medical, anti-ragging, universal human values, knowledge, MICA knowledge products and everything. So again, this would give the lens to see next 12 months of your life at MICA campus. Cluster 6 and 7, you will go through all the details. It is about infrastructure, data and statutory, all the rules, regulations and policies, because this will enable you to perform in next 12 months. Be it campus, hostel, IT infrastructure, finance, library, MICA data, media and marketing intelligence, executive education, admissions, along with that all this fire, anti-ragging, anti-narcotic, post, regulatory, academic governance and grievances. So that's all being planned in next 2 weeks for all of you. If I am not wrong, it's around 70 sessions in next 15 days. You have to go through all the details. Coming to the closure, that's where we talk about, and this is not your term. This term is yet to begin. So there are 4 things we are talking about. To achieve this, you have to go through this. To be an alum, so everything starts with the internship projects, and then the team will explain in details that what does that mean, how industry is shifting from final placement to internship driven projects and final job offers, then how the final placement happens. Other than that, if you have seen in MICA Studio, we also say that corporate is not the only route. There is an entrepreneurial path, there is an higher education path, that's also planned here, that yes, you are great there, go ahead with your corporate placements, but that's not limiting you. You have 2 more paths, which is higher education and entrepreneurship, that you may say that's the orientation we'll give in this next 15 days. Hence, that's where we are expecting from all of you after arrived at MICA. So this is where you're going to give the lens for next 12 months, and after these 15 days, your term will begin. And thank you, welcome once again, and we look forward to meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So you must have seen the rigor, and parents must be a little more relieved, or I don't know what. We are all, some of us are parents of almost similar age groups, so we can feel for you. The other thing which I mentioned earlier, that the moment we have deans and associate deans, there will be rules to follow. But we have been waiting for something rather too long. We have a special guest. And really, thank you so much for being here, taking out time from a busy schedule and being here with us. And I invite our Associate Dean Knowledge, Professor Suresh. While he comes, I will talk briefly about him. He will introduce the chief guest. So you will hear more about the chief guest. But all the things that the Dean talked about, which is knowledge creation and knowledge dissemination, is the role that Associate Dean Knowledge plays. And that is also equally important in the higher education section. So over to you, Professor Suresh.
Thank you, Shubhra. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's my honor and privilege to introduce our chief guest for the day, Mr. B.V. Rao. Mr. Rao is a distinguished journal editor, commentator, news and communications professional, and is currently serving as Group Consulting Editor, India Today Digital. Welcome, sir. He brings with him an extraordinary career of more than 42 years in journalism, a career that has moved across many phases and formats of the Indian media. If I have to give you one word that describes him the best, is multiple. Multiple media, be it print, broadcast, digital, multiple formats like broadsheets, tabloids, morningers, eveningers, weeklies, fortnightlies, you name them. Multiple cities he have worked with. Chennai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Baroda, Rajkot, Mumbai, India. Multiple languages. English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and a working familiarity with Kannada, Gujarati, and even Marathi. And above all, multiple leading news brands. Mr. Rao's professional journey began in June 1984 at News Today, a Chennai afternoon newspaper under the leadership of respected journalist T.R. Ramaswamy. Since then, he has spent more than 4 decades in newsrooms, working with organizations both small and big. He became an editor at a very young age of 28 and has since then led more than 12 publications and news platforms. Over the years, he had held senior editorial roles across some of India's most prominent media organizations that include Midday, Sunday Observer, the Indian Express, Free Press Journal, the Times of India, India Today Group, DNA, Star News, Z News, Governance Now, Samay News Network, First Post, and Reliance Industries. Please pardon me, sir, if I forget something. His roles have included the role as editor, Delhi Midday, news editor, Indian Express Bangalore, executive editor, Free Press Journal, Mumbai, resident editor, Indian Express Ahmedabad and Mumbai, deputy resident editor, Times of India, Delhi, editor today at the Times India Group, associate editor, DNA Mumbai, senior executive editor, Star News, group editor, Z News, editor, First Post, and group editor, TV9 Network. Now, what makes Mr. Rao's presence especially meaningful today is that his career is also a story of transformation of the Indian journalism itself. From print deadlines and city editions to television newsrooms, 24 hours news channels, digital platforms, and the contemporary challenge of speed, credibility, trust, and public communication. His presence is particularly valuable because he represents a rare combination of editorial depth, professional versatility, institutional memory, and contemporary relevance. He understands journalism not only as a reporting and editing, but also as judgment, responsibility, public reasoning, and communication in society. At a time when media, technology, public opinion, and communications are changing rapidly, we are fortunate to have with us someone who has worked at the highest levels of Indian journalism and communications across formats, geographies, languages, and institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. B.V. Rao.
And now I invite our director and CEO to present a small token of our appreciation for the time, sir, that you have taken out, and immediately after that, we will request you to address the gathering. Yes. So creativity, School of Applied Creativity requires creative gifts. Here. Yes.
Me too. Yeah, that's even better. Yeah. So I can.
Thank you.
Oh God, पहले ही आ गया. Okay, when you have such a long list of what you have done, it's worrisome कि अब क्या बचा है. मतलब घर भेजने का टाइम हो गया मेरा, है ना? So respected Director Jaya Deshmukh ji, Dean Geeta ji, comeback Dean, twice born Dean Piyush ji, Registrar Shubhra ji, the faculty I know Santosh and Jignesh ji, you know, Vasavda, right? And the faculty that I don't know, and parents and very, very dear students. Good morning to all of you. And thank you, MICA, for inviting me to be part of this important day in the life of the students, their parents, and of course, the institution itself, because the institution is but its students and its people. So, dear students, this is the first day in the journey of your future. You must be in various proportions nervous, eager, excited, and expectant. I am too. This is my first commencement day speech. So I am also excited and nervous. Excited to share your moment, and worried, concerned that whether I will make this moment worthwhile for you. Hopefully, I do. 42 years of experience shouldn't go to waste, right? Maybe I'll get there. But then, there's one fact about you, or at least what people say is a fact about you, gives me confidence that I think we'll get along very well. You are supposedly the Gen Z, a generation in a hurry that likes to be free and loves to chuck jobs. You're not there yet, but the others who are already there, and loves to chuck jobs at the drop of a hat. If that is an accurate description of yourselves, then you and I are going to get along like a house on fire. Yes, I say that even though we are on the opposite ends of the age spectrum. If Gen Z is impatient, gets bored easily, and is prone to kicking jobs just like that, at the drop of a hat, well, let me tell you, you have been beaten hollow already. I have 21 resignations to my credit. I have resigned 21 times in 42 years, an average of 2 years in a place. Yeah, 1 minute. Oh, my presentation has jumped, so give me a minute. No, that'll come in a little later. Yeah, नहीं ठीक है, वो अभी नहीं चाहिए. Yeah, just get him here. I might need him. So, आइए, यहीं पे रहिए, मेरे साथ ही रहिए आप. So in the movie Diwar, how many of you seen that? Or are you aware? Yeah? But good. What is the most iconic dialogue? Yeah, fantastic. That's good. So, in the movie Diwar, Shashi Kapoor demolishes Amitabh Bachchan with a simple, "Mere paas maa hai" dialogue, right? Let's first listen to that dialogue. Next.
मेरे पास माँ है.
Yeah, but ना अभी नहीं, हाँ रुकिए, अभी रुकिए, पीछे चले जाइए, हाँ अभी रुकिए. But if Amitabh Bachchan was supposed to ask me that in place of Shashi Kapoor, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? This is what I would tell him.
मैं हूं,
Next one.
देखो ये वही मैं हूं और ये वही तुम हो।
आवाज?
हम दोनों एक साथ इस फुटपाथ से उठे थे, लेकिन आज तुम कहां रह गए और मैं कहां गया? आज मेरे पास बिल्डिंगें हैं, प्रॉपर्टी है, बैंक बैलेंस है, बंगला है, गाड़ी है। क्या है तुम्हारे पास?
मेरे पास 21 इस्तीफे हैं भाई।
Game over. So you get the drift, right? I was the original Gen Z. Decades before anybody even thought of that expression, fashionable term as it is, or as you people like to put it, I am the GOAT OG. That will come at the last again. So, look at what we have got. They're a long way up there. Right? So, I'm convinced I'm going to stay GOAT Gen Z for a long time to come. Now, here is where parents and faculty will get worried where I'm taking this. So what is my message for you? Am I telling you to, अरे छोड़ो, नौकरी होकर छोड़ो, आओ जाओ नहीं फर्क पड़ता, जो करना है करो. Far from that, I will give them comfort towards the end of this presentation. Till that time, it's between you and me. But their concerns are different, and I have a concern right now, which is, I'll get there in a roundabout way. Your director met me in Jan at India Today's headquarters, which is a very impressive building. And she was perhaps overawed by that brilliance of the building and confused it with my brilliance. And perhaps in a moment of weakness, offered me to come here, invited me to this place. It was Jan, and she was talking about June end. I thought, okay, kar dete. I thought she would come back to this beautiful campus, her own campus, and sober up a bit and decide to call somebody of stature. ये क्या journalist है, ठीक है? But that didn't happen. Perhaps because Jaya ji is too nice. Once she makes an invitation, she doesn't withdraw it. Or she didn't find enough achievers. By that I mean people who have 21 resignations to their credit. Right? So here I am. And director, I hope you realize the gravity of the situation you have landed me in. The average attention span of the Insta generation, I'm not talking Gen Z, Insta generation, which is all of us, is 3 seconds. Let me say that again. THREE, 3 seconds. If a reel doesn't catch our attention in 3 seconds, then we are on to the next, to the next, and to the next, and on an endless time loop. My concern is, I have been told that I have to engage you for 30 minutes. Right? आइएगा. Is he here? यहीं पे आ जाइए कोई. हाँ, ठीक. So, that is 30 minutes is 600 real years. By the time I finish, you will get to actually 600 reels. How am I going to compete with that? Right? So, nonetheless, the brave shall soldier on, and here I am. So good luck to me, and good luck to all of you too. Okay, now shall we get to the serious part? We are in the throes of major changes, like your dean and the faculty have already told you, especially AI. AI is upending the world as we know it. Everything about it is changing. That's why I should talk about, not AI, change itself, right? And while doing so, I will try, in fact, I will not advise you. Seeing that my own children have stopped taking my advice decades ago, I have no hope that you will take it away either, right? So I'll stay away from advice. Instead, I'll just give you my learnings from my own innings and my own observations of what has changed over the years, and which is, as you all know by now, 42 years. So it's almost a ritual now when you talk about change to begin with this quote of Heraclitus, which says, change is the only constant. Must have heard about it, right? Most of you must have. But Heraclitus was a Greek philosopher, so this quote is also philosophical. And philosophy is the obsession of the end of life guys like me, not beginners like you who are just going to set out in life. So let's look for a more useful quote and a homegrown Atmanirbhar quote from nobody less than Mahatma Gandhi. Anybody? Yes, what did Mahatma Gandhi say? Yes, be the change you wish to see in this world. As you can see, Gandhi brought it down from far away philosophy to actionable political movement. That's what he had, that was the context in which he spoke. But, you know, the greatest irony of both these quotes, the irony is that, and the greatest ode to change itself is that neither of them said the exact words. The quotes themselves have changed and changed and changed and have come to what they are right now. So the change is more basically just to make it easy. Am I moving here? One second. Yeah. Just so that it's easy for people to understand. Make it a bumper sticker like a quote so more people will understand. So change is the only constant in life. He had actually said, you do not step into the same river a second time or something like that, right? Same, Gandhiji also. It's basically to make it easy for us. They said more complex things. As for me, you already know that I could not change the world much. So I changed a lot of jobs. But that once again gets us into the worry territory with your faculty and parents. So that is also not the change I am going to talk to you about. I will address a more important change, a change that has impacted all of us greatly over the years. I am going to take you through the concept, how the concept of news changed from being good to the absurd, to the even more absurd, and the ever more absurd. To explain this, I will give you what I call the dog news analogy. This seems to be a very animal-friendly campus. So let me assure you, no animals were injured while drafting and executing this analogy. When I began my career in 1984, the prevailing wisdom in newsrooms was that if a dog bit a man, that was news. Simple, innocent times. So that was news. Dog bites man, news. Just imagine those guys at that time, we actually believed this is news, right? As I said, those were innocent times. By the late 80s, it changed. It was not news if dog just bit the man. Now, the man had to get rabies for it to make it to the news. Dog bites man, man gets rabies, news. Okay, we are into the 90s, early 90s, the MTV generation, TV had started happening in a big way, so more liberalization had happened, so you had more access to things that are happening in the world. So you needed another extra degree of, the curiosity was not enough, well, the rabies was not enough. So what was now necessary? The man had to die of rabies. News. Now, 2001 or thereabouts is when television, 24/7 television came to India. News channels, round the clock, right? It's okay. Take your time to switch it off. It's better than them getting into. Yeah, go ahead. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay. Fine. So, when TV came and news changed, it needed something much bigger, much, what do you call, grander scale. So now, what did you need? That dog was not hurt, it's AI. Man bites dog is news. So we are getting more and more imaginative, more and more salacious, more and more vicarious in our need for news. So by 2010, digital news, the less harmful digital news, which is the websites, had started happening. Now the definition needed another weird upgrade. What was that? Well, there are steps. You can't jump. The dog gets rabies. Okay, now the dog is getting rabies. Now, 2015, 16, 17, 18, social media had hit us big. Facebook and Insta and Twitter and TikTok and all that, right? So what did we need now? Ram Ram, kutte ki Ram Ram. Man bites dog, dog gets rabies, dog dies of rabies. That's news. We are still not done. Curiosity is still not satiated. So we are now in 2026. Now reels rule our world. So the dog wouldn't catch our attention if it just had rabies and died of rabies. We now, any guesses? Yeah, louder. Okay, I'll break the suspense. Now, we needed the dog to die, well, a dog's death. And we needed to see it live. Who will make the reels? Right? So that is how news has changed in India. And it has affected all of us. You might all think that, so maybe it happened to your profession. What's the big deal? But it changed a great deal in this country. Of course, this analogy is all made up. it's my own creation. The first line that I was taught was that man bites dog is not news, dog bites man is news. From that definition, I built this. So as I said, no animal was injured. The analogy is all made up, but the way news degraded in this country is an absolute fact. I gave this rather absurdly dramatized version just to demonstrate this. Over the years, the standards of news kept falling. The more vicarious and salacious the incident, the better chance it got of making it to news. Now, why would I mention this to you? In a sense, you're all students, you're just starting your careers, not even in jobs yet. That's because I have learned a lot of lessons watching this, being part of this change, reacting to some, not reacting to some, vagara vagara. So learning one, not all change is good. The way news has changed over these 4 decades is not good for your health or the country's health. Nonetheless, it happened. Learning two, good or bad, you have to respond to change. You can't say like your dean said, AI is changing, but we will do our own bit. No, you will have to figure out what AI is and then do what you want to do. You could choose to ignore it, but you could not be unaware of it. Not being aware of change or ignoring it is actually suicidal. Some of the organizations that I served chose not to completely submit to this dangerous slide in news. We are now seeing the benefits of holding out, because more and more people are already getting sick of news on social media because you don't know what to believe, you don't know what to trust. Learning three. The third reason I brought this up is, if you have noticed, the classical definition of news held for decades. I think the first newspaper in India happened sometime late 1700s, so 18th century, late 18th century it happened. From then till 2001, when television came, print held roost. Then television came. From the beginning of print in 18th century till 2001, when television came to India, the speed and spread of television made newspapers too slow. Because you had instant news all the time, round the clock. Why would you wait for a newspaper once in a day? But television ruled only till the next faster platform came about, which is digital and then social. The kind of news that television served us survived only for about a decade. 2000 to 2010 is television's golden period. Afterwards, digital takeover, which is the websites and others, and then swept away by digital or social media. But as I said, we are already getting too much news, too much non-news, too much made-up news. But what has happened now is that each time, if you notice, each time the cycle of change has hastened. From centuries to decades to years to minutes to 3-second reels. That is how things are changing. Things are changing at the speed of Instagram reels. That is why all of you need to be very, very aware of change. Keep an eye out for change. It's very important, whatever profession or business you choose to get into from here on, to know that change is happening at the speed of Insta reel. So keep your change sensors sharp. What is happening in and around you, in your profession around you, is something that you should, maybe change could be one other C in your right, core messaging. The earlier you sniff change, the better off you will be. Look at this standard graph for anything. I'm not getting it. If say this is where change begins, you are better off which side? Do you want to stay on the left side of the cliff or on the right side of the cliff? Because the right side of the cliff, yeah, simple, it's simple. Right side on the cliff is actually you are sliding so fast that you are not even ready for this. You will go down here and then life goes on. So stay on the right side of the cliff, or in this case, the left side. Okay? So watch out for change all the time, every minute. Every profession, every day is changing. Something is changing. Keep abreast of that. That is how, I shouldn't be talking too much about myself in the way that I did what I did, but I have survived only because from platform to platform to platform, I could keep going, even then. I'll come to that later. It once, I think, as all of you know, I was a very successful, very young, I became editor at 28 and have been an editor since. But my career began in print, and I was having a very successful career as a very young editor. I missed the television revolution in India. I didn't join it. I joined later, much later. I think I came into television 6 years after it broke. But here is the thing about change. It is ruthless. It does not wait for or reward the laggards. The people who have been left behind are over. So I was on this side of the cliff for television. The result, even though I entered television later, the result, I've had a very rather colorless television stint. I don't think I can say I've achieved much with television. Lesson 4. There is, of course, another very important reason why I cited that dog news analogy. The original purpose of news is to inform and enrich. But the news media strayed far away from that pristine purpose into eyeball grabbing area. Luckily now, since social media does such a great job of feeding this viral appetite, traditional news media has gotten beat. We just can't compete in nonsense with social media. So we've totally been beaten. Consequently, Gen Z, you people, have turned your backs to news. Get lost. We don't need you, right? And thank you for that. Because you're doing such a great job of ignoring traditional media that we, journalists that is, I have been forced now to introspect and think of going back to basics. So, more power to all of you. May we learn our lessons quickly enough. Then, here I must point out that the core, MICA core that you said is what we lost. As media, we lost our core. If MICA is insisting that in the next 15 days you just spend time on understanding the core of MICA, please pay attention. That's going to be the defining period in your entire career, not just here, in all your professional career. Get the rule, get the core, get the sense of MICA embedded in your DNA, then you will do well. And you have fantastic examples sitting right here in front of you. Okay, today seems to be the day of analogies. I have one more coming for you. To track another great change that happened in my space, which is the news space. And to talk about that, I'll give you what I call the news and underwear analogy. Yeah? Sometimes major changes happen, but the essence remains right? So you must know what to change, how much to change, what to preserve. This is where my news and underwear analogy will be very handy. In 1999, I was invited to a Rotary Club event in Mumbai. Internet had just broken out, and it seemed like it was going to change a lot of stuff, just like we expect AI to do these days. Many people saw or predicted that newspapers would soon die because everybody will have news on their mobile, which has happened now. But at that time, I was called saying that, will newspapers survive in India? That was the topic of discussion. These Rotarians had asked me. Years later, I wrote about that in exchangeformedia.com, a media B2B website. I think most of you will get to know that because it will intertwine with your careers very much. So I quote myself from that article with very minor edits. So I told the audience there were women, not girls, but women and males. So I told them, with apologies to all the girls, that is my edition for today, and ladies in the audience, I will respond with a rather uncomfortable analogy. I said, fashion changed from long flowing gowns, right, to full length gowns, to skirts, to next mini skirts, to micro minis, right? I don't know, at least that was the terminology in my age. I don't know what you guys call it now, right? And then from full length pants to capris to shorts to hot pants and what have you. But one thing didn't change. It stayed, right? The underwear didn't change. It's there and it will never go. So I told these people, the Rotarians, that newspapers are the underwear of journalism. Intimate, personal, and bare essentials. They will never be out of fashion. They will never be discarded. Right? And I think in retrospect now, I can see I was right. I was not the only guy who was saying it, but since I said that at that conference, I was right. Even to this day, after nearly 26 years of bombardment by television and social media, newspapers, or the print media as we call them collectively, are alive and kicking. And actually kicking a tad better than television and social media. That is because while they got impacted by changes, newspapers did not fully discard, you are going to love this word, fully discard their core. Right? They stuck to their core. They stuck to the fundamental. They stuck to what newspapers are supposed to do. They frayed. I'm not saying it didn't happen. They frayed, but they did not lose the core completely. Even today, it is the print media that throws up the occasional investigative story or a useful story. In television, you get a whole lot of blah, 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 right? Only discussions and debates and shouting matches. Digital is another, social media is another world, outrageous world altogether. So that is why there's no surprise that the profitability of newspapers is actually going up now. They're much leaner because of COVID. Post-COVID, they cut costs majorly, and now they are actually on a revival. And by the way, top 10 news channels and television news channels and top 10 newspapers, if you take, there are more chances that the top 10 newspapers are profitable and only 1 or 2 of the top news channels, top 10 of newspapers, all of them are profitable. In the top 10 news channels, only 1 or 2 may be profitable, and their profits are kind of coming down rapidly. So the learning from this, change, but change smartly. Even underwear went change. We now call it what? Lingerie. It is not underwear, it's unfashionable to call it underwear anymore. But it still does the same core function of protecting our modesty. That's what it's supposed to do, and it still does, whatever we do with it. So don't lose your core as you add layers of change. The core should always be there, only you add layers to that core. Okay, now let's come to the parting shot of my. How long have we been at it? 600 Insta years, real years? No, not yet, no? Okay. So this is the part I promised your faculty and your parents that they will enjoy. I have so far told you about how things always change. Now, in the last leg of my address, let me tell you about the one thing that did not change in all my 42 years of work, which is hard work. I had quite a few innings and learned that and earned the trust and praise of many bosses. But one appreciation note sticks out and sticks in my memory. The next visual you'll see is a message from the promoter of Midday, Tariq Ansari. He was the former promoter, now they're out of Midday. He was replying over cable to my resignation, the 3rd of 21, a long time ago. Here it is. Sorry to see you go. Thank you for your inputs in Delhi Midday. And above and beyond the call of duty. That I'll show you that again. Above and beyond the call of duty. I was just 5 years into the profession. Those days, journalists were, you're going to love this, journalists were supposed to work only 6 hours a day. Only 6 hours. And I would be in office anywhere between 12 to 16 hours. Nobody asked me to, right? But what happened with me at that time is that I gathered the experience of maybe 6 years in 3 years, right? So hard work is one thing that the biggest and the most important beneficiary of your hard work is you. The byproduct of it is the benefit to the organization. But fundamentally, it is you who are working for. You are working for yourself, your career, your future. So do not take hard work out of the equation. Keep that there. I say that because not everybody is brilliant. Most of us, I think there will be a population of maybe 2% in India that comes under brilliant category. Maybe excellent would be 10 top. The rest of us are okay, average, above average, good, very good, right? The thing with brilliance is it comes infrequently. Nobody is brilliant forever or through the day. But an average and above average person who's working hard is there all the time improving his or her faculties. So work for yourself, work very hard. Why do I say that? Because of that. It is because of that hard work that I did in my initial years, which is what your faculty is trying to tell you to do in the next 15 days at least, right? Because of that, there is a trust that is earned within the community. Every paper knows every other paper. That's what will happen to you. When you are in a particular profession, your entire profession will know how good, how lazy, how brilliant, how what you call dependable, non-dependable, everything you are, right? So I got it only because I earned the trust. And here's where I'll tell you something that I did not tell you initially. I told you up front that I have 21 resignation letters. What I did not deliberately tell you is how many appointment letters I have. How many do you think? "21 resignations, I am still in a job, 22. I have 22 appointment letters, right? So, let me get those, sorry. बाहर आ जाओ उसका. ये तो हो गया. Yeah, this is it. Oh, yeah. 21 out, 21 in. 22 in, right? You are worth only the appointment letter you have in. One more. Always ensure, no matter how many jobs you quit or not quit, ensure that you have one appointment letter more. And that doesn't happen by being anything other than available at a work, earning your trust, earning your keep, doing things that need to be done. Only then you will get that one extra appointment letter, right? So, if in the form of advice I were to tell you something, break my code and tell you, work hard, change the world if you can, or change with the world, and ensure you get one extra appointment letter more than resignation letters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Venkat. It has been an absolutely stunning presentation and so much for the attention spans. Everybody was glued from Gen Z to the likes of us and wonderful. Thank you so much. Not only inspiring but also giving us the evolution of how our society and how human beings have evolved over the years. And so rightly said that news analogy was just one way of demonstrating it. Absolutely, and we'll bring more of it in the classrooms, I'm sure. For the time being, I will invite Professor Ruchi Tiwari, our CMO, to announce some very interesting things. So over to you, please. While she walks up, I will say a few things about the role she plays. So the role reads, so she does, you have heard her or read about her as the admissions co-lead. But another role, in fact, two other roles. One is in the classroom and the other is in the context of institutional marketing and communication, including social media. So she's going to announce a few things. And we keep innovating, we keep creating. And you will see this in this. Over to you, Ruchi.
Thank you so much, Shubhra. Thank you. So, Mr. Rao was telling us he was unsure why Jaya invited him, but he left us with two key words. One was change, and the other was hard work. So, what I'm going to present to you today is our testimony of the multiple changes and hard work that we do at MICA. These are two concrete examples. So at MICA, we have a community radio, which is called MICA Vani. It's I can see a lot of head shaking because that's on our website and a lot of you come and talk about it. We are relaunching, yes, we've changed. We've tried to ensure that it brings in every bit that AI can support in community radio. So what you will listen over the next 2 minutes or so is completely through the support of AI. So this is MICA Vani to the entire MICA community, you included.
हेलो, मैं हूं आपका दोस्त और होस्ट आरजे अमर और अब वक्त है आपको सुनाने का माइका वाणी के शानदार कार्यक्रमों की एक छोटी सी झलक। तो जुड़े रहिए क्योंकि यहाँ हर आवाज में है एक नई कहानी, एक नया एहसास।
તો કેમ છો વાલી બહેનો, મજામાં ને? હવે આજે આપણે મહિલા વૃત્તિકા યોજના વિશે વાત કરવાના છીએ. આ જે યોજના છે એ ગુજરાત સરકારના બાગાયતી વિભાગ દ્વારા ચલાવવામાં આવે છે અને આ યોજના હેઠળ મહિલાઓને વિવિધ પ્રકારના શાકભાજી અને ફળોની ખેતી વિશે ટેકનિકલ નોલેજ આપવામાં આવે છે.
Did Bajirao really get his mastani? Find out. Only on 90.4 FM. MICA Ahmedabad.
તમે ટ્યુન કર્યું છે 90.4 FM માઇકા વાણી. આજે આપણી સાથે કવિતા શાહ જોડાયા છે. વાર્તા કહેવાની જે કળા છે એના ઇતિહાસ વિશે આપણા દર્શકોને વાત કરશો.
જેમ કે હું તમને કહું કે આપણે દાદા દાદીથી નાનપણમાં વાર્તાઓ સાંભળી છે, પણ વાર્તા એટલે શું? કમ્યુનિકેશન.
90.4 FM माइका वाणी पे ये गाना मैं डेडिकेट करता हूँ मेरी वाइफ को।
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं.
So this is one sample. We'll require all your help, all your support. Volunteers, we'll ask for volunteers to run this radio because this is your radio station. This is also one sample of the way we bring together community, creativity, communication. There is little or no commerce in this, very honestly, except the hard work and the toil that we put in. And of course, this is a part of MICA culture. We have yet one more. At MICA, we're going to be starting this year onwards a podcast, and we've kept it simple. It's the MICA podcast. I'll show you a teaser of the MICA podcast. We'll seek out to all of you to give us interesting topics, maybe hosts. Any of you can be hosts. Some interesting guests that you have. Welcome. Today we will have one guest, Mr. Rao, whom we'll be recording in the studio. So one teaser of what we will be releasing soon.
And welcome to the MICA podcast. Welcome to the MICA podcast. This is where we have conversations with a special MICAN lens about creativity, communication, culture, commerce, and community. MICA already has a very strong community, one which we'd like to invite you to experience from this podcast and contribute to the conversation as well. Do you have a muse? Do you believe in the concept of a muse?
What do you mean by a muse?
You know, the muse is something that you have to, kind of invoke from the heavens, and it could be female, it could be male. It is basically some sort of source or divine intervention. I don't know.
I think my muse is fear.
Fear? Interesting.
Yeah. Because you put fear inside you and then you have to overcome it with hope. And fear and hope go together. So fear becomes a muse, most of us, if you really look down upon it.
So when did you realize you were different?
I didn't know. That's something. I never knew I was different. Because you're part of the culture, right? A fish, if we say black fish among all the goldfish, the blackfish thing I'm part of it because he's not seeing. He thinks, okay, my friends are a thing. And they also makes you behave like this. Like in college, I used to call crazy. I have a name called cartoon, magician. I had a call called joker. I had a call called any possible name you was given, but every class was going because you're constantly on the wall. I didn't realize, or cracking jokes, or telling stories, or seeing things differently that others are not seeing it.
Have you used ChatGPT? What do you think about ChatGPT? Do you think storytellers should use ChatGPT?
So I think in terms of efficiency, in terms of formatting, definitely AI is a big help.
Yeah.
Where AI doesn't help and should not help also is the story is fundamentally yours. What happens is people are so used to saying, you know what, give me a story.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That sucks. Yeah.
Give it a context, give it a reason, give it a premise, give it an incident, give it something, give it. I mean, honestly, context makes such a difference.
Yeah, I think one thing I would love to talk about is how this journey changed me as a person. Right?
Love to know that.
Yeah, I think in my relationships, I was always the self-sufficient one, or I was the giver, and I wanted to give and take care and make sure things were always in order, right? And through this, during the initial days of the diagnosis, also I imagined that I would do that. But I can't tell you the magic with which friends turned up. I ended up creating what I thought would be a small group called my 3 a.m. connection, right?
What's about this 18-minute magic? Like, why not a 15 or why not a 20? Why 18?
The original concept of the 18 minutes was that if you ask someone to speak for 15 minutes, they speak for 20 minutes. If you ask for 20, they speak for 25 or 30.
Okay.
And so, one part of it is by asking for 18 minutes, people pay attention to that. They're like, well, that's very specific. And it's like, yes.
Okay.
And if you speak beyond that, we will turn off the camera.
Okay.
That sort of makes them think a bit more about it. That 18 minutes was around the maximum that someone would...
Attention.
Not just attention, but sort of like focused attention, that they could really keep retaining information and go beyond that. But this is all, of course, quite dated.
Wow, what a conversation, huh? Some great takeaways. We're going to try and live up to the start we've made and invite exciting guests like Shekhar Kapoor here. If you have anyone specific in mind you want us to get here, let us know and do spread the word around. Like, subscribe, comment, do the good thing and make this lens spread its goodness to as many people as possible. Let's make this community big. Go on, do something creative and amazing today.
Thank you. This is on behalf of all of us. It is yours. Step up. I wanted to showcase to your parents that we do some really good stuff. This is just the beginning. Thank you.
Raful. So we come to the last part, but perhaps one of the most important parts of our human lives as we live. And that word is gratitude. Harvard and Stanford and Princeton, they're conducting workshops for students to live meaningful lives and have a holistic growth. And at the end of every ceremony, it is very important to acknowledge all those who could not or did not choose to come here on the stage to talk. They are playing a role. So I come back to the first slide that I showed you. Yes, not just a brick in the wall, but all the bricks make up a wall. So here is to everyone. Praful, can we have that? So I have some pictures for you. I will begin by saying, and the worst part of this role is that there's a chance of me forgetting someone. And hence it's important to have some pictures, and still I will apologize in the end if I've missed out anybody. So of course, as you can see, the information and technology team there, meaning not physically here, but playing a role in getting this across to all of us, and also to your family back home, because we have shared the link. Then we have Kunj, will you know which one is it? Okay, I will talk. Until he gets it, I will talk. So there's this IT team. Then there is a finance team. IT team, Mr. Sumit, is he around? Otherwise, he and his team. Mr. Vinit Shah, the finance team head, if he's there, then thank you so much. Thank you, Sumit Bhai. Thank you, finance team. And also we are an educational institution. So the library, but we choose to call it Knowledge and Information Exchange Center. And I want you to pause and look at it because you will hear it so often, KEIC. It does two things. One, so this was from the very beginning. And it shows to all of us that there's a thought behind naming also. So Knowledge and Information Exchange, so KEIC. Thank you so much, Dr. Chintan Pandya, if you're here, and your team. And then we come to when you entered the gate, there was the security staff. And as you came in, you had the housekeeping making all our lives comfortable, including faculty and staff. And then we have the mess staff who will be taking care of your daily needs and your choices. Having said that, I think a big round of applause for the admissions team. So Professor Taral and Professor Ruchi and your team, you've already interacted with Love and several others. Then, of course, we have our program office team. I'm not too sure if you have interacted with Murtaza. So thank you. And here we have Professor Falguni, who is the academic head of the School of Creativity courses. So big round of applause for you and your team. And it's also very important to acknowledge everyone else, not just because it's a good act, because this wouldn't have been possible without them. This seamless operation wouldn't have been possible. The video exchanges, so the design team, the marketing team, and the registrar teams. What does it do? You will get to know, your awards will get to know tomorrow in the sessions. But broadly, if I say anything and everything which relates to student journey, from making sure that your admit cards, your ID cards get to you, your email IDs get to you, up to the time that you graduate, which is convocation. We'll be there with you. So a big round of applause for my team. You don't get to see the pictures. We will show you later. We will have a video. Now, one of the things which I have forgotten, please remind me, that's the big aspect, uniqueness of our community, that if I ask any of my colleagues, kuch bhul gaya, to they will tell me right away, and we'll be able to pick it. I'm just waiting for the one last thing is on my agenda, but before that, have I forgotten anybody? Not yet. Okay. So one big part of not only your life, but our life as faculty and administrators is the big community of alumni, which our director mentioned, Dean mentioned. And although it is the first two programs of School of Applied Creativity, but the CCC in a new avatar has been PGCM AMC, that is Advertising and Marketing Communications. And we have created a video for you to showcase the work that they have done, the 35 batches that have been in the industry, they have done for you. So with that, Praful, please play the video. is to you and here is to your parents. A big round of applause for your parents and family members. Thank you. And the lunch is served in the first floor dining room for all the parents and faculty. And there will be teams to guide you because we understand that this is your first day, and there'll be teams to guide you to the dining hall. Thank you very much. Good day, all of you.